Why don't you tell me why we picked Perfect Thursday as our title?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to send some good vibes into the weekend, which we all love. And for those of you who don't know what Perfect Thursday actually means, it kind of goes back to our playing days where, you're going through the game plan, going through the week of practice, and Tuesday, you install the game plan, you go out, you have a hard practice. Wednesday, it's not full pad, so it's kind of toned back depending on how Tuesday went. And then Thursday is when you have to be perfect, and that's when you're not wearing pads. Offense has to be perfect, defense has to be perfect, and then you get ready for the game on the weekend. So that's kind of that's like the mentality that we're carrying in for our lives. Basically.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, that belongs in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, truly. That was a really well thought out response.
We'll probably have to cut that one.
Yeah, we're gonna probably scrap most of that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Perfect Thursday. This is episode 1 on what is not a podcast, but rather a journey. And today, we have a very special guest for you, lifelong friend of ours, Jake and I, who are going to be your hosts. You'll get to know us during this podcast. Some of you may already know us if you're very, very, very into Pitt football. Chances are you're not, so you'll be able to learn who we are as we move forward. But more importantly, you'll be able to get a side of our guests that you don't usually get. So with that being said, I would like to introduce our first guest, Mr. Kenny Pickett. Claps for Kenny. Kenny, welcome to the podcast. First guest ever.
It's an honor.
How does it feel to start on this journey with us?
It's been going. I mean, you guys have been thinking about doing this for a couple months now.
Right.
And majority of the ideas Jim has, I feel like he never follows through.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very excited to finally see this one come through.
Jeez, oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, is this going to be a shot party?
No, it's just honesty. So I'm excited to be
Yeah.
here. Happy to be the first guest and get this thing going.
Dude, this started on the way to your engagement party.
It did.
And we were driving up together, and we kind of thought of the idea. And then I think we actually told everyone at the engagement party that we were doing it. So
Yes.
that was probably like 5 hours after.
Yeah. I don't even think you guys said congrats. You just said, hey, we need you on the
Well, see, it became very
got right to it.
We were very happy you're getting married, but on to important business. Now, we want to assure you that you're not on this podcast just because you've racked up 50,000 plus followers and there's a fan base of people rooting for you and stuff. We want you on this because you're our friend, right, Jake?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I like to think of Kenny as a good friend.
I do
For
too.
sure. Hope.
Yeah. I mean, we've known you a long time. We know you probably better than most people on the outside looking in know you. So, we've been across the struggle. We've been across like the ups and downs of the career from the inside looking out. But I got to say, when we were outside of your house, the moments before you were about to propose to your girlfriend, that's the first time I've ever seen you nervous in my whole life.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I've seen you in situations where the game's on your back. It's raining, North Carolina. What are we going to do? Overtime. You get it done. But in that moment, what were you feeling?
Well, the problem was I had a surprise, and all you idiots were texting me nonstop, and I was hanging out with Amy nonstop. So when my phone's blowing up and I'm not answering it, it just looks so sketchy.
Well, it needs to be about us, though.
And I usually play music on my phone when I'm driving and stuff, and it has the CarPlay, so it pops up, like, the message.
Yep.
So I'm like, that's why I was telling all you guys, like, just don't text me until it's done, and I'll text you guys.
I was so concerned. Where are we staying? Do I need to knock? I needed to know all the details.
So I was obviously very nervous not to blow the surprise, because there was 2 surprises. Obviously the proposal, and then having all of her closest family friends, my friends, at her house to surprise her when she gets home. So there was a twofer.
Do you think she had any idea that weekend?
I think she had a little. I think she lies when she says that, she had no idea, because I swear that she saw, like, I was talking to, like, the restaurant owner, like, when I'm gonna come set it up, and, like, he doesn't text me all the time. So when she sees his name pop up on my phone, like, obviously something's a little weird. Right. She says she has no idea though. But
what was her reaction? I would imagine some tears.
Oh yeah, some tears. She was shaking. That was funny. It was a special moment, obviously, and then having all you guys there to come home and, like, celebrate.
Yeah, we were about half in the bag at that point.
you had sweaty palms proposing to your girlfriend. Meanwhile, Jake and Peyton are going shot for shot with Amy's dad in the basement, seeing who could consume more tequila before you guys got there.
Yeah, so I think we were trying to see who was going to be the bigger liability, and
naturally,
it was a close call.
It was tight.
I think it was me.
I don't know.
No, you're good. You're all right.
I'd put money on Jake. I would, but that's just because I was in charge of you all night.
Yeah, you did. You kept a good watch over me. So I appreciate it.
We got you home. We got you home safe. We leave no man left behind.
Yeah.
So regarding the process that you've been going through, obviously college ends, and I kind of just want to, take this talk as an opportunity for you to tell your story since, you win the ACC, you have tough decisions to make. Let's just kind of go through what was going on in your head, immediately after that game. So obviously you're celebrating, great night, enjoy it with the fellas. You get back to Pittsburgh. Where are you at?
Yeah, obviously there's a big decision about the bowl game. I don't even think you guys really knew about what I was going to do. I think some of you guys had a little bit of a clue, but that talk came down to really Coach Whipple, my family, all the coaches that helped me make the decision to come back the year prior were big into making that decision of either playing the bowl game and not playing. And ultimately I decided not to play. That was obviously a really tough decision. But be able to go to the game and be up in the box and kind of help out that way, that was obviously great. Great to see you guys play one more time. Jake was out there, Jimmy was watching. So,
were you there?
I was not. I was I was at home watching. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've been retired for a while. I'm old.
Fake fan.
Yeah,
huge fake fan.
Yeah, whatever.
So then I made that decision. Went down to the game, saw the game, and then after that it was just training. And then had the Senior Bowl. That was a crazy week. Up till 12 o'clock at night doing interviews, up at 5:30 for practice, meetings, and more interviews. So that was a cool experience. Really enjoyed that. Back to training, went to the combine. Kind of similar experience, minus a playbook, minus learning a new offense and going out there and practicing and all that stuff. So another really busy week, but went out there and did what I wanted to do. Back in Pittsburgh now with you guys getting ready for pro day. So it's been a roller coaster of a ride, and every day is a new day with free agency, and you guys texting me the updates and making sure I'm well aware.
Trust me.
Making sure I'm well aware of what's going on in the NFL world. So
yeah, dude. I mean, after the ACC came,
that was a big score.
Listen, your brackets are all shot. It makes no difference.
I think I'm in first right now. But
who do you have winning it?
Well, I have Iowa winning this, but
Iowa's down 2 right now.
Down 2. This is a live update. You probably this is going to air well after this game.
They're going to be in the Elite 8 by the time this airs.
But what you're
so
getting
it really doesn't matter.
What you're getting is live reactions of the Iowa State game.
Iowa,
excuse me. Iowa game that is happening right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm a bad college sports fan. I can't keep up with the NCAA. I really only keep up with you guys and now Pitt football. So,
dude,
take that for what it is. You're recently a fan too, Jake. What is your now experience with football and the game from the outside now looking in?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, playing 6 years, I was pretty exhausted by the time I got done with, my final year. But I think going back to practice the other day, it was just seeing all the guys and just thinking about what Pitt means to me now. I don't know. I just have such pride.
Yeah, you gonna cry?
I feel like I'm gonna start crying.
You gonna start crying? You got any tissues in the studio?
I didn't think this was kind of popular.
No,
it's just getting emotional.
It's a weird feeling. It was I think I needed a break from football, and I needed a break from even thinking about it.
Right.
And then going to practice, I think it was 2 days ago. I was holy shit! One, I missed this. 2, I miss the guys and the coaches and all the relationships I made.
Right.
And 3, I'm I'm just excited to be a Pitt fan moving forward.
Of course.
I'm happy with the way my career went and thinking about how it's done now. I'm ready for the next chapter of life, and I'm just proud Pitt man forever.
You go back to one of those practices, you miss it for about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and
dude.
You're okay.
Once I saw Inside Run, I was like,
this was fun while it lasted. Naturally. Now, the big thing that I've always been curious about post college career is it's very different. People are approaching you about different things, like podcasts like this on a bigger scale. I mean, you've been associated with some of the biggest names in media really across the country. What has been surprising to you about that journey? If there's someone or something that approached you, you're I had no idea someone like this would approach me about something like this. What is something like that?
In the media side of it?
Anything. Media, football, whatever.
That's a great question. Well, obviously, when you leave college and you go in, college football is now starting to become a business with NIL and everything. But obviously, the NFL and once you take that next step of your career, it's a lot of it's business, and you kind of learn that the hard way, I guess. And I'm still obviously really young in this process, but seeing, hearing and seeing stories from other guys, having the meet, like you said, some media opportunities that I never thought would be, possible.
Right.
Meeting some great people. But really kind of seeing how people are off camera versus on camera. There's some people who are different, and there's some people who stay genuine. It's kind of cool to see who the real people are and authentic people on camera, and then you kind of turn the cameras off and Some people show a little different side of themselves. So that's been a unique process, I'd say, on the media side of things.
Do you think we're authentic on camera and off?
You guys are still in the process.
Yeah.
You guys are early.
This is actually
we're
my
about
first
10
time
minutes. We're about 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
We're very nervous. We're all holding our hands like this. we're all very tight, but we're gonna loosen up as it goes on. Like I said, this podcast is a journey. It's not just episode 1. This is the first step
That is true.
of what's going to be a long process of learning and getting better every day.
Yeah.
Much like football. This is football
exactly.
part
We
2.
walked on to Pitt football. Now
Yes.
we're walking on to the podcast.
Let's talk
world.
about us, Kenny. Forget you for a second.
Yeah,
Let's talk about us and how we've had the same exact story. Almost to a T. I
Yeah.
mean, we both walked on. We both changed positions from linebacker, tight end. Did you run defensive end at all?
No, I did not.
All right, so
I
I'm just a little more talented than you with it. You were a quarterback. Okay,
yeah.
so maybe you were a little more talented than me.
Yeah, it depends how you look at talent, but yeah.
But what it came down to is this: who had the louder calls on punt protection? Who was the louder punt protection caller?
I think-
and who ran faster on kickoff?
Okay, you ran faster on kickoff.
All right.
I will give you that. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a 4.9 on a good day.
Yeah.
I think my calls were louder. I think I had more responsibility.
Yes.
I had to do all those shifts and whatnot and line people up. Like when PJ got in or one of our teammates got in a 3-point stance.
We're gonna bleep out the name.
when one of our teammates got in a 3-point stance out at gunner.
Yep.
So yeah, there was just a lot of shit going on. Yeah, I think that would be the big. I was never on kickoff. I never got that opportunity.
Right,
It's still.
You never got that opportunity to run down
not
on
even
kickoff.
one. Actually, no, one time.
I used to love running down on kickoff.
Yeah.
You ever
I'm
have
sure.
this experience, Ken, where special teams was the highlight of your game, or that probably missed
Have you ever been on a special teams play in
high
your
school.
career?
Punt, held, kicked off.
Yeah.
I actually kicked off in high school. I was the
Yeah.
kicker. I wore a
Yeah.
boot.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I was the
I
kicker.
kicked with my toe.
I kicked with my toe, too.
I can't soccer kick.
Dude, when I was in 8th grade, I was the kicker, and the first kick ever completely shanked it.
Really?
Perfect onside kick, though. We recovered it.
Did you get it?
No. But I'm saying, like, when somebody else did.
Oh, someone on the team got
Yeah.
it. I thought you meant you just, like, squibbed it or
No. I
pooched it.
shanked it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, the point of that story is Jake and I are very similar people.
Yes,
Have similar
similar
philosophies, similar
journeys.
stories. That's fun.
Similar hair.
Similar mustache.
Yeah.
Not-
We're working on it.
The highlights of our career.
Mhm.
I would say when I played, now I'm a little bit older than you guys, but when we beat Wake Forest to clinch the first ACC Coastal title and go to the first championship game, that was probably the best game I ever played. I got a lot of offensive reps that game.
Yeah.
One of the best games I ever played. For you guys, what is, like, obviously you got so many great moments to choose from, especially you, Ken. Maybe not so much us, Jake. But from your experience first, Kenny, what was like that moment at Pitt football where you're like, damn, that was it for me?
Yeah, the ACC championship game. I mean,
For
everyone knows how hard we worked towards that. You guys know. I mean, it was crazy how we started. I mean, my freshman year, we were 5-7 that year. We beat Miami. Got whooped in that game following the Wake Forest game,
Yeah,
the
I
ACC
remember.
championship game by Clemson. And then we just kind of steadily got better from there. So, I mean, the ACC, there's so many memories, like you said, but on field, favorite memory, I would say the ACC championship game, for sure.
What about off the field?
Off the field,
We're gonna get the censor bars ready.
Yeah.
I mean, we had fun, man. We knew how to have a good time. I'd say, I mean, our days at Bouquet and Ward Street, I think, were the highlights.
Yeah.
Having the backyard, being able to walk down to Mario's,
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Peters.
Yeah.
Peters,
Definitely
we're gonna
rest in
reopen
peace,
it one
Peters.
day.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Call it KPs.
Whoa.
Hey,
Hey. Now you're giving out
Yeah,
free
yeah.
ideas here.
I think this should be our thing, by the way.
That's an
Perfect
Italian
Thursday,
thing. We
you
we
know?
can't
Yeah.
steal that. We can't steal that from the entire
We're both
Italian
Italian.
community. Yeah, but I mean,
You're more Italian than I am.
I am.
Iowa lost.
Iowa lost.
Iowa lost.
There we go. All right. Close the podcast down. We're done for the day. So our brackets are now in trouble. Kenny is upset. He is much more into this than I am. I don't know how. Are you into this, Jake? Like the whole bracketology nonsense?
I am, but I was totally thinking of something else.
We were talking about reopening Peters, and you
Yeah,
wanted to
no, I did.
culturally
There was one
appropriate
question
the
I
Italian
wanted to-
thing.
There was one question before we go into that. There was one question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
One more night in Oakland for the rest of your life. Prime Panther House
Oh my!
or Prime Mario's?
Prime Peters. Can we go Prime Peters?
Sure.
Prime Peters.
It's Prime Peters then,
Prime
for
Peters.
sure. I mean, Peters was a different level, I'd say, but there was a
It
little
was more of
run.
a family too.
It was a family
Family
atmosphere.
vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, P House was at one time where we could just get everybody in, like it just didn't. It was just kind of lawless. That was probably the most fun, like one of the most fun times we've had.
And it was during the
so
summer
many
too,
people hated on it. No, it was like it was in like season sophomore.
I think it was both, but I just remember,
summer leaked into the season. Yeah, and they just wanted people in there, so we were just packing the place out with like whoever we wanted. And I mean, obviously you can't do that.
No,
you definitely have to. You know, you can't use like your Panther ID card as an ID.
They didn't accept Panther funds at the bar.
No.
No. A shame.
It's a good idea though.
Yeah, but I mean,
Peter's Part 2.
Yeah.
For KPs.
No, I'd run
it. No Panther funds.
No Panther. We'd figure something out. But yeah, no, I'd say Prime P House was a good time though.
Yeah, it was.
What about you? Where's your one night?
Everyone hated on P House though.
I know. Well, I mean, I feel like it got old quick.
Yeah, there's not much.
That was the problem, and it just started to. I don't know. It was sweaty. It smelled in there.
That's tight quarters.
It was gritty though. It was gritty.
Tight quarters.
Our best friend strangled someone in the bathroom.
Yes. Yeah, I remember the underground one where you had to walk down the stairs. That was like floor collapsing on your head.
That was my first college bar experience.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. First weekend.
That sounds about right. That was probably my first college bar as well.
Yeah.
Going there. That was an absolute mess.
Wasn't there a night that a band played and it was like packed?
Yes, that was
dude,
my
I
first
missed
night.
that night. I can't remember where it was.
It was loaded there.
Shit.
People falling out into the street. Can't remember the band though.
Live music is way better.
Yeah.
I agree. But so kind of piggybacking off this idea of going out and being a part of the culture of Pittsburgh, you know, when we used to go out back in the day before you started playing, before like back when I was still on the team, we could go out and relatively get away. Not a lot of people knew who we were, but this year especially, I mean, we have run into situations where we're getting in the car and people are surrounding my car trying to get a hold of Kenny. Now, meanwhile, they don't know who I am yet.
No.
Yet.
It's coming.
That's why we're making this podcast. That's why we're using his fame to kind of attract it to us. We're stealing it. But to that point, what's one of the weirdest encounters you've had with fans now that you have like really exceeded it into a new realm of, call it fame, I guess?
Yeah. I can have a couple, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This year I think halfway through the season, a cop got assigned to me going in and out of the stadiums.
Yeah.
That was something that I never thought would have to happen. I mean, coming into the stadium, you know how you always have your family and stuff.
Right.
So I always loved to see, and it was Amy's first game, and my family was there, and it was Amy's first game, and I was excited to see them before I headed in the stadium, and I'm going over there to give her a hug and give my family a hug, and this lady's hammered drunk, and I see her kind of like following me down. I'm like, this is not, like, I already see what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And she comes like just stumbling through my family, like throws them out of the way, like jumps on me, is like, oh, can I get a selfie? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like, we're here now.
You're not good.
And I had the cop next to me, and I looked at him. I was like, dude, what do we got? Like, what do we do?
Do your job. Do your job. This is what we're paying you for.
This is why we have you. Like, help me out here. So I really didn't get a chance to see my family that much before the game.
Yeah.
That sucked. Like you said, that one night surrounding the car
that was
a unique experience.
What game was that? What was that game?
That was after Virginia, maybe?
It was Virginia or Clemson.
It might have been Clemson.
That was insane. We were leaving a bar. There was a swarm of college students surrounding my car. I didn't know what to do. Ken was like, "Get out of here. We got to go." He was like, "Go." I was like,
I had to
honking the horn.
Yeah.
I use an alias now on DoorDash.
Do you really?
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
This story sucks.
Wow.
It's a good.
This is actually messed up.
This is a little messed up, but this
yeah.
also made me like hesitate, like how many times this may have happened to my food in previous times. So I ordered at Chicken on campus.
Yes.
I should name the name because
we'll
you can bleep that out.
Yeah, bleep it out.
Yeah. A lot of bleeping going on today.
May not want to bleep them out though for what they did.
Yeah.
May actually let this run.
All right.
So I ordered from Chicken, like I'm starving. It was a Sunday before we go into football. So I'm like, I'll eat some of this before I go. So I get the box and I open the box up, and it's like, let's play a little game or something like that on the box.
God.
Like,
have you heard this?
No.
This isn't like
It's
one
insane.
of these, like we put something like a sauce or a the dry rub.
Yes.
Like we like mixed in one of them.
Right.
Like have fun. Like a weird little message
that's
on the
immediately
box.
throw the
And
food out.
yeah, I know. And I'm just like, no, they didn't. Like I'm starving.
I love how he's like, no way.
I'm starving. I'm like, no, like they would
Stop it.
Like that's illegal, right? Like you can't.
It's food tampering. It's
yeah.
very illegal.
So I was like, nah, like no way.
Right.
So I have a couple of the chicken nuggets. They're fine.
You ate the food.
I'm eating,
God,
no, it gets worse. So I'm eating the food. It's fine. The fries are good. I take a bite into the next one, and it was the hottest seasoning I've ever experienced in my life. So I start like my eyes are watering.
Yep.
My face is like beet red. I'm like brushing my teeth 10 times over, like I'm like
Jeez, Ken.
sweating, like I'm freaking out. I'm
I
like,
can't believe you ate that food.
yeah, it was stupid, obviously.
Right,
but
yeah,
I
college
think,
kids,
but
I
I
guess.
thought like
Yeah.
there's no way that they mess with my food because it's just you can't do that.
They did.
They did.
They left you a warning.
Dude,
Last time I ever ordered from there.
the let's play a little game thing is
That's
that's
weird,
the
yeah.
thing.
That
that's
was
like,
that was weird.
And then
That's-
a couple years later,
like, who does
a
that?
couple years later, the Batman movie comes out with the Riddler leaving
Yeah.
Batman notes. So
Same
in a
shit.
way, you inspired that.
Yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about, but yeah, sure. I've never seen.
No
You haven't
one
seen the
ever.
Batman yet?
Oh,
Listen, nobody ever gets my pop culture weird comic book references, but I am looking forward to the day where we sit someone down
Yeah.
in this seat who does.
Have you seen The Dark Knight?
yes, that's
You-
my
you would-
my favorite.
You
one.
would like the Batman then.
I'll watch it.
It's
It's just 3
similar.
hours.
Yeah,
I have to
it's
carve out my whole day.
Yeah, we'll find
Yeah,
it. We'll
Next time you're on a flight, just download it.
Freaking take a sick day. For
Yeah,
watch
I mean, but
Batman.
honestly, you're going to be on flights. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff
Yeah.
soon, so you'll be ready to go.
Dude,
Yes,
the,
that was
um,
messed up.
One of my favorite stories is back to Mario's. We'll be done talking about Mario soon, I swear.
You all right? You good?
Yeah.
We need to get a
It's
drink
just,
out here for you?
I knew we had to talk about this. It was after one game and people were like flocking to come get pictures and stuff, so that we literally had to block out that little section.
Oh yeah,
And
that section is nice.
That's
though.
the VIP.
it was
now.
nice, yeah, and we always ended up there. But
Yeah.
it was me and another one of our teammates were kind of like blocking people out, and this girl comes up, and she's like trying to get in, and we're like, no. And then like she tries to go by our teammate, and he's like, no. And she's like, oh, I know him, who is another one of our teammates. And we're like, oh yeah. And I was like, do you know her? And he was like, yeah. And then she goes right in, takes a picture with Kenny, ignores the teammate that she said she knew, and then dips.
Dude,
and
Kenny
I was
is
like,
a
that
fame
is such
stealer.
a good move. But it
Yes.
was so funny. I mean,
Listen, Kenny has been home for a week. We've went and got a couple dinners, lunches. Everywhere we go, somebody's coming up. Same routine, same first part. I know you probably get this a lot, but
Yeah.
I want to just get a selfie. And Kenny says yes every time. And I'm
He's a good guy.
Oh, listen, I've taken pictures. They're handing me their phone. I'm like, I'm here too. It's all right. Boom. But that's what it means to be you now. That's the new norm for you.
Yeah, it's unique. It's fun. It's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll just we'll have to see where we land next because we're following and we're going to continue to absorb that secondhand fame.
Yeah, we're going to continue to piggyback. It's
Right, yeah. So keep it. What we've learned is our success is going to largely contend on your success. So we're rooting
Yeah.
for you like hell. I mean,
Appreciate it,
we're
guys.
really pulling for you here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The things that people don't usually get to interact with about you, they know like the personality, Kenny Pickett on the field. Everyone says the same things, like hard worker, natural born leader, all those positive attributes. What has it been like? What has been your reaction to kind of go through the process and get really micromanaged, micro-critiqued by all these people who like, the whole hand size argument, we get it.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to talk about it. But what is your like reaction truly to that stuff? Because we know what really makes athletes, what really makes successful people, but the general public tends to put more stock into it because it's coming from blue check marks.
Right.
What has been your reaction to that?
I don't. I mean, like it was weird because I was in so many meetings and stuff, so I had no idea. After those measurements got taken or whatever, I forget where I went, but I wasn't on my phone for like an hour or two. So I popped my phone back on, getting ready to go run at the combine and stuff, and I see the reaction.
Jeez.
And it was actually I got so many big like news outlets,
CBS, front page.
everything, like
Yep.
everything. And I'm just like, this is just the most overblown thing. So I'm like out there, like the camera will be like on my hands. I'll like move my hands and mess around with the camera and
We
stuff.
were watching.
They did it at the senior, at the
Yes.
Senior Bowl. They
It's
did
so
it.
funny.
Like it's just the weirdest thing to like obsess about. If it was a problem, then like okay, I get it. But when I go out there consistently play at a high
Right.
level and stuff, that's where it's just like okay, they got to
So
reach for.
weird.
They're gonna reach for something and try and find, and they're always gonna try and find something to nitpick and be negative about. But yeah, it's just I think it's so funny. So it really just doesn't have much of an effect because so many people just take it to heart,
Right.
and it's always the people that like have not played. Or don't
absolutely.
coach.
I
It's
can't tell you how
always-
many times I've gone to bat against people who are
Yeah.
just saying things that they're just clueless about.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
like when I went into my formal interviews and stuff, out of the 17 teams I met with, 2 teams brought it up, and it was as a joke.
Really?
Not one team brought it up as something that they said they were concerned about. It's just that you get right into the tape and right into what like matters. Obviously.
Right, of course.
So yeah, it was funny. I think it's still. I mean, I won't hear the end of it till I
Yeah.
get drafted. So
Dude, it was weird. It was like even you go on Twitter and there's like articles with just pictures of your hands, like on a close up, like they zoomed in. I'm like, what? It was just weird.
My buddy sent me a screenshot of like what was trending on Twitter. It was my name and Conor McGregor was like right under mine.
It's awesome.
But it was like all about my.
It's a hell of a company. Yeah,
it was all about my hands though. So it's not like I did anything good.
It's just listen.
You know what pisses me off? It's not the hands. It's the thumbs.
I know.
It's the thumbs.
What do you mean? It's the thumbs.
Dude.
What's the issue?
Yeah, we won't.
My thumbs. Yes, I got weird thumbs, so the measurement I can't fully extend when my thumbs fly.
Okay, yeah, so they do it from like here
they do
to
it
here.
pinky to thumb.
So we're getting a not legit measurement as is.
No.
Right.
God.
That's the issue.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing. If Jake and I were in the combine, we would have a long list of features that would be unappetizing for NFL teams. For me, such as slow, not twitchy, unable to athletically move from one side of the field to another, which is probably why we didn't get invited to the combine. But Jake.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, but so Jake, you are a guy who recently had the opportunity to kind of take the next step. Obviously, Pro Day's coming up for Pitt. You're choosing not to embrace that. I also made that decision, but what went into it for you? Like, what are some of the things that you thought about when making that decision?
I mean, it was kind of like being realistic with, like, is it worth putting it all that into it if I know my chances are so slim?
Right.
Like, and that might sound bad. Like, I don't want it to sound like I'm, like, giving up on myself, but it was like.
No, we get it. You gave
you
up.
know, it's like, I totally quit.
We're two quitters.
I don't know. I was just
Totally
like. I said, fuck it. I'm done.
Oh, listen,
going out on my terms. But, yeah, I mean, there was a little. I mean, I've had a ton of concussions. Right. You know, I think, like, just in general, I was ready for the next chapter of life. You know, I love football. I miss football. I'll always love it. But I was just ready to do something new and, like, combine that with the slim chance that I make a team or a practice squad. Even so, I was just kind of like, you know what? I had a great time at Pitt. I'm ready to be done. Yeah. Like, let's start a podcast.
That's
literally what came down.
But listen, that's the truth though. Like for me too, like I just made that assessment. I was like, is this a realistic future? And not saying like it couldn't be if you worked hard and did it, but are there other areas of life that you could start devoting time, energy to and find success in? And when I made that assessment, I was like, absolutely.
Yeah, I was ready.
Right. And then I went and tried out for the WWE, and now I'm working full time.
Did you actually try out? Because I remember. Yeah. See, you still should have.
Listen.
I don't know why.
Here's what happened. I went and I was about to do it, and then COVID quarantine happened, and it was done. And then I was like, okay, I need to get a job, make money. Once I got a job, that dream kind of slowly fades away because you advance in your own career, and that's what it is. Dude. But Vince McMahon, if you are listening to this, I got to weigh in. I know the moves. I'm a big Undertaker fan. I can be the next Undertaker. Athlete. Sneaky speed, unbelievable acrobatics, aerobics.
Sure.
What do you think, Ken? You're not too confident in me. I've been rooting for you the whole time. Maybe I got to send some measurements out to teams about hand size and stuff. I mean, what the hell was that? He said, sure.
Is Kenny as confident in us as we are in him?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
But is that justified, though?
Would I be here?
True.
That's
actually a good point.
Would I be here?
That's a good point.
Thank you.
True. Also, tell your agent
that
send that check over to us for being the first guest.
Okay.
It'll be in.
Okay.
It won't be for that much. But we are sitting here now. You got Pro Day coming up, so we're kind of going through this journey. Pro Day's happening. What are your big focus points for what you want to accomplish with Pro Day?
Yeah, I mean, the good news is I don't have to run or jump or do any of that. I did that at the combine. I was happy with my numbers. Everything I put up was good. So really, I'm just going to throw.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think I'm scripted for like 55, 56 throws. Just the number one thing I think will be arm strength. I think everyone knows how accurate I am in the intermediate stuff. I feel like I throw the deep ball really well, but kind of want to show a little bit of that wow factor of putting it out there 65 plus yards. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited to go out there and do it. Is your boy Addison going to be running routes, or is that not legal? No, he will be. Him and Jay Wayne. Jerry Wayne will be out there too. I think we'll have Tayseer, Trey Tipton, Melky Stovall, Lucas Kroll, and then we'll have Jordan and Jared just in case those guys get tired, because obviously they're going to be testing, and a lot goes into it. When you're putting it's a long day, and you're putting max effort out for each event that you're doing, so it's a lot, and I want to make sure that I have some fresh legs out there running. Right. You going backwards hat? Yeah, absolutely.
He's gonna be locked.
That's the classic look.
Locked in.
Yeah,
And
I
then
couldn't do it for the combine, but
Yeah.
Jake and I will be outside the facility playing catch on the side of the road,
Yeah.
talking with
you
the
guys
people.
can get past. Former players could get past.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
there.
we
You
can
should
get
definitely
it.
be able to get past.
Listen,
for pro day.
hook us up. We'll be there.
Do
We'd
your,
love
be
to.
there
do
all
your
day.
second show.
We'll do the second show
Should we
live
vlog
right
it?
there.
Live.
I'd love to
Or-
vlog
Do
yeah.
it.
you think we'd be allowed to?
We got to get EJ on the mic for that.
I mean, it's what, Thursday? We got to talk
Yeah,
to him tomorrow.
it's,
got
per-
3
it's
days.
perfect.
It's
Thursday.
perfect Thursday.
Yeah, it's perfect Thursday.
Why'd you even have to check the date? You know which day it
Yeah,
was.
I don't know, dude. I just,
He's
the
nervous.
title
You
of
can
the
tell.
show.
He's twiddling his thumbs underneath the table. So we talk about progression and how, like, you know, the big story was Kenny Pickett bets on himself, comes back for a 5th year, obviously paid off. What people don't necessarily talk about, though, is what changes did you make even year to year as you progressed and grew in your career that really, like, you realized at the end of the season, like, that made a huge difference in how I played?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's like this. There's so many kids that hit me with my DMs. I feel bad. I would love to reach out and like answer every single one of them, but you're going to be at your phone for hours. But
Right.
it's like obsessing over it for 5 years is what got me to
Mm-hmm.
this point. There's not one single thing that I'm like, oh, that's what, like, everyone wants to know, like, the quick fix. Like, there's no like magic potion that you could take to get to that level that you want to get to.
Right.
Like, it was 5 years of continuing to work hard and be dedicated and obsess over becoming the best, best player I could possibly be. And I knew that one day it would be in this. I just didn't know how long it would take to get there. For me, it was 5 years.
Right.
Some guys it takes 3, some guys it takes 4, but for me it was 5. Obviously was a really good decision. We had an unbelievable year as a team. Looking at our roster, I thought we had a great team coming back. That was one of the main reasons, another great reason why I came back. Knew that this was going to be a possibility if I took care of my business and got us to that level, that championship level. So, I mean, a lot went into it, but it was 5 years of continuing not to pull up or be complacent with where I was
Right.
at, and always pushing to be in the seat that I am now.
That's a hell of a story. I mean, similarly, like, we obviously didn't make it, but Jake and I resonate with that because just to even get to the places we were at Pitt, we had to put in a similar situation. Now, we're not going to get compensated with millions of dollars in the NFL, but we aren't salty or mad at you about that. Like, we're really happy for you.
Yeah, you guys went to school for free though, bro. You
Yeah,
got
we
the stipend check.
mostly. There's,
Yeah, I mean,
there's
I
an
still- I
asterisk
still have
on
some
that.
loans
yeah.
I gotta pay off,
Right?
but-
Yeah, walking
It
away,
helps.
walking
It
away with a
helps.
couple head injuries,
Yeah.
but it's all right. We got it.
We're good.
Give me a high five over the table for that. Thanks,
Yeah.
Kenny. But that's like, to me, those are the most interesting things because we were fortunate enough to have a lot of good mentors at Pitt, from our head coach all the way down through the staff. Like, there's been a lot of positive influence in our lives. So, like, to see those lessons play out and embodied in a person is, like, to me, that's special. Like, that's something I like. You agree, Jake?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
Well, you guys did it just in a different way.
Yeah, that's
everyone
right.
has, like I
Right.
said, everyone has their own way of doing it. Now
Right.
you guys are off doing your own thing and succeeding, so everyone has their own different journey. But that's why we all hang out.
Yeah, I agree.
That's-
Listen,
Yeah,
we
all
do.
we
hang
kind of
out.
gravitated towards each other.
We
Yeah,
got a
it's-
great crew, man. We got a bunch of guys doing a lot of good things. Some of our friends you'll see in future episodes.
Yes.
So give you a reason to keep tuning in. But I mean, I'm happy with ultimately the overall experience of Pitt, where we're at. Obviously, led us to being here, being together.
I
Those are
think
just the
it's
things that we
molded
can-
us into some decent guys.
Oh,
you know.
absolutely, yeah.
Like I don't doubt
Decent.
our.
A little bit of work to do.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, we got a
Little
lot
bit of
work,
trimming
but
up.
I don't doubt like when we put our mind to something, like our dedication, our work ethic. But we also don't take things too seriously. So that's also kind of
Right.
a nice thing.
Right.
And
That's a
similar sense.
beautiful
I
deal.
just like our friend group. You know what? I'm
Oh,
gonna say
yeah.
it.
Now, me and Jake are Pittsburgh guys. We grew up in this area, like, we're from here. You're coming over from Jersey. When you first get to Pittsburgh, what is like, this is great, this is terrible? Like, what was your taste of Pittsburgh when you first got here?
Yeah, I'm not a New York City guy, so I'm happy that it's not like
Right.
it doesn't give off like New York City vibes. I'd say with Oakland
Mm-hmm.
and where our campus is, so I like that. Like that there's things to do. Yeah, and really enjoyed it. I mean, I never had like that homesick freshman feeling I feel like
Right.
some people have. I mean, I was always doing something, whether it was training and meeting teammates, going out doing the fun stuff that college kids do. So I mean, I always loved it. Now I'm back after 5 years, and I'm staying at our place on.
Classic.
Yeah, I don't
Dude.
know. I mean, I already said Ward Street, right? So
We should have mic'd up our bonfire last night. That's
Oh,
what
the
we
bonfire
should've
was
done.
great.
That
We had a
was
classic
lot of good
classic
banter going
meetup
on.
for the fans at home. Classic meetup between some of the fellas back at the classic home in
Yeah.
Oakland, where all the football players
Beautiful
stay.
home.
We will buy that
Beautiful.
one day. We're going to buy that
Beautiful
one day.
home.
Turn
You
it
buy
into a
it.
museum.
You can buy it.
Yeah,
I
you can buy it.
I think if it had
Yeah,
one more
we'll run it
bathroom, it
for
wouldn't
you.
be as bad.
Yeah, 5 bedrooms, 1 bathroom for everyone that doesn't know.
Just
tough.
talk about that for a second. So, because you're obviously going to be coming into a very different situation, but in college, you lived in a house with 5 football players with
Yep.
1 single bathroom.
And
To
5
me, that's
football players
nauseating.
with girlfriends.
Yeah, it's
So
nauseating.
there's usually like a minimum 7, 8 people in
Oof.
there.
It's nasty.
It wasn't my choice. I did not want to go there. I was in class, and it was like Kirk and the boys started getting worried about being able to find a place to live, and he panicked and just committed
Pull
to
the
this
trigger.
awful place. But
Oh
that, we all
my.
love it now. We all love it.
Sentimental.
It's definitely sentimental. Yeah, definitely don't tell Kirk that you hate it because he absolutely loves it.
I know he does, but I'll tell him right
Um,
through his face. In
yeah,
fact, when he's
I
on
think-
here, that's the first
Yeah.
thing I'm going to
Well,
say.
he's
to
going
him.
to be sad moving out.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
he said
yeah.
if you get drafted to the Steelers, it's great because you can just stay here.
that
you know,
would be
You
awesome.
don't. I said that will never happen. I mean, in my meeting with the interview with the Steelers, they actually asked me that question too, and I almost like bursted out laughing because I know where I live.
Oh, I
You
would've
guys know
too.
where I live.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that was even a question. They're like, we know you're comfortable at Pitt and where you
Right.
live and stuff. I was like, first off, I'm not comfortable with where I live.
You're
I
living
mean,
like Rocky
one-
Balboa in the first movie.
Yeah, 1 bathroom. The ceiling in my room's like falling in.
Yep.
We have a backyard that's just thrown together with some lawn chairs,
Yep.
and that's like our like cool spot of the house. We probably say is like the best spot.
Right.
We've had rats running around outside. Never one inside, which has been
Never one that you know of.
not one that I know of. That's a good point. I've come home to the ceiling in the staircase going up to the 3rd level completely fell in.
Oh.
So there was like drywall
Yep.
and spackle and all that stuff covered, and I don't go up there because
Salto.
it's the
Gritty.
it's
gritty.
it's
That's
what
where
you,
the grittiness comes from.
That is where the greens
That's
come
how you
from.
got more.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
5
to
years.
put in perspective, I sat in a chair with no back last night around the bonfire. It was a wiggly back. Like it looked like something that John Cena smacked off of the Rock's head
Yeah,
at
well-
WrestleMania.
Yeah, we just throw some stuff together. But yeah, so that was one of the questions that the Steelers asked me. Are you going to live in Oakland? I was like, absolutely not. They're like, oh, good. Like, we give you some neighborhood options. I was like, I would definitely take you up on
Yeah.
those.
Please.
Yeah,
Please. Any
please.
upgrade.
Maybe Wexford. I don't know.
Just
So-
anything but where I'm at.
Anywhere
would be
but-
great.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, there's no disrespect to South Oakland. That is where we
Yeah,
were
we-
made,
I
born, and
love
raised.
South
Come on.
I still live
Yeah,
there.
right. But
Yeah.
we're gonna
Still
call
live
we're gonna call the spade a spade. Kenny's
Yeah.
famous for calling it how it is, and
Yeah.
that's how it
Yeah,
is.
that's
South
definitely
Oakland.
how it is.
Nonetheless, good memories at Pitt. Good memories across the board. Really, now transitioning into like what's to come. What are you most excited about, both professionally in football and then personally? And you can't say your wedding because that's the obvious, like, big personal thing that's coming up.
Yeah, well, of course, that's the number one thing, the wedding, of course.
Right.
Next summer, we're gonna
Family guy.
That's
gonna
going to be a banger.
That's gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
It's the next big event in my life too.
Yeah, dude,
believe
I
it or
mean,
not.
I wish it was this summer. I mean,
I'm very excited for it. It's gonna be a great time. The draft night, I think you guys will be there, and
Yep.
a lot of work. My whole life pretty much working towards that call, sitting on the couch. So I got six weeks to the day. So we're almost there. 6 weeks left. Pro Day's obviously the big check mark. I'll have some interviews before on Sunday. Go throw Monday, and then there's like that visit process where some teams can fly me in and go through another interview process. So it's a long road. Going back to your first interview, obviously, is like the season tape.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get through a long season, and then you have this whole process that we just talked about. So I'd say personally, obviously the wedding, and then football wise, just professionally getting on that couch, waiting for the call that I've been working my whole life towards. So I'm excited.
So awesome.
I'm sure obviously this process has been a lot for you, but how have your parents been handling all of this? Because I imagine they're incredibly proud, but also I'm sure it's pretty
Stressful
nerve-wracking for them.
Yeah, I think the more stress because of the free agent. Like they would love to just know where I'm going
Right.
to plan. I think they're big planners and want to have a clue of like what we're doing and where I'm going and all that stuff. So I think not the unknown is definitely stressful for them, but I think more excited obviously. So it's gonna be a long 6 weeks for them, but it'll all be worth it when we get the call. So.
That's going to be special. I'm going to get emotional.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
just
I
telling you that
definitely will
now.
be.
Yeah.
I'll probably
definitely
cry.
will
I've
be.
cried at every draft party that I've been to.
Really?
So, yeah.
1 for 1, right?
Two for two.
Two?
Two
Who's
for two.
the first? Who's the first?
One of my buddies from back home, he got a free agent call.
Wow. Wow.
It was real late too. It was
Yeah.
a long,
That's pretty
stressful day.
awesome, yeah.
Day 3 takes forever. Bro.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And he got a call, and it was just awesome.
We were all crying at Jimmy's.
Oh my God.
That was a special moment.
That was great.
I wasn't there for that, but seeing that
Yeah,
video,
yeah.
that was so awesome.
unbelievable.
The
chill, like goosebumps when you think about it. It's unbelievable. It's great.
And he's had an unbelievable career too. Jimbo, if you're
Yes.
listening to it, we're excited to have you on very soon.
episode 2.
Episode 2
Who's
could
episode
be.
2?
Well, we still are working out timelines. The problem is
there's a
everybody's
lot going on.
everybody's spread out. But we got some local guys here. We're going to knock out just so, while they're here. We're going to get them in the podcast. We might
In
not
the
release
stew.
them in that order. Yeah, in the stew. This is the stew.
Yeah,
by
welcome
the way.
to the stew.
We're gonna decorate it up. We're gonna get some fresh faces in here.
Sure.
But we for this particular one, sadly, run out of time. I mean, time flew. I think for a first episode, this went pretty well. What do you think, everybody?
Yeah, it was
Good?
great.
I had a good time.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
This is the
Peter,
first-
what do you think? Was it pretty fluent?
Thumbs up from Peter.
Is he paying attention or is he like?
Oh,
playing
he's
the
paying
game?
attention. He's locked in on the iPad. But to wrap this up, this is something I want to make a Perfect Thursday tradition. I want to ask you. You've known Jake and I for a long time.
Yep.
Who has helped you more along the way? And I know this answer already. And if you say the wrong one, I swear to God, I'm leaving. I swear to God.
That's a terrible question.
That's the
Well,
point
you
of
have
it.
to
That's
answer
the
it.
point
Both
of it.
have helped me tremendously.
Right,
Yeah.
but like
Tremendously.
in different ways. And
Should we
different ways.
state our cases? or-
yeah, I'll state my case
Okay.
after you state yours.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
I think I have one more catch than you.
Oh, so you want to pull up the stat
more
lines?
yards.
I stopped a fake punt
Okay.
against Georgia Tech.
But besides that, I feel like I was always there to make sure you got home after the games.
What does that even mean? What does that
That
mean?
is like the most untrue thing.
I know.
That's
it's
an
the other way
unbelievable-
around, dude.
He had a
the other way around.
police officer
that's
that would
so
walk him
untrue.
to and from
Yeah.
the stadium. That wasn't you. See, so he's lying.
I
I
was
wasn't
about
even
going
there.
out after. That's
Oh,
definitely what he's
you're talking about running around the city.
Yeah.
I was always the DD. I was always
Yeah, he
sober.
definitely had way more.
I was Mr. Reliable. You're kind
We've
of
had some
digging
good
yourself in a
casino
hole.
trips together.
Oh, Kenny and I used
You're
to
kinda
tear up the
digging yourself
rivers.
in
Yeah.
the hole here.
Boom.
Okay, well, I'm just going to let you answer
There
the
we
question
go,
then.
Jimbo and
Do you want to
Kenny.
state your case or should we just let
You
decide?
stated it for me.
Okay, well,
I
I guess we're
appreciate
done
it.
here.
Yeah.
We're done.
Welcome to Perfect Thursday. That's a wrap on the first episode. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening. We thank you guys for being a part of the journey so far. And this is, like I said, the first step in many. I'm going to give the last word to my man, Kenny Pickett. You got one thing that you can tell the people at home, one thing that they're going to take away from this podcast that they haven't taken away from any podcast ever before. This is Kenny Pickett in a nutshell. Go.
Listening to Perfect Thursday is the best decision you made all day.
Yes,
Wow. There
yes,
we go.
yes.
Put it on a
That's
t-shirt.
beautiful. That's
Just take
gonna
out
be-
that
listen.
awkward pause when I had to think of what to say.
Oh, we'll cut it. We're gonna have merch, and there's two things that I want to have for just closing. And this is what I'm going to say to the people, directly to the people at the hard cam. If you want a guest, reach out to us. We're going to try our best to get them on. No promises. No WWE superstars as of right now. There's a contract going on with me and WWE. I cannot talk about NDA'd out of my mind. Jake, is there anyone that you can't have on the podcast?
I think we're good.
Nope. I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Give me something to
No,
play with here. Anybody.
I honestly was not paying attention right there.
All right. Peter, anyone you can't have on?
Can't have on?
Yeah. Peter's good. Peter's covered.
Yeah, we can have anyone on.
All right. Well,
This is our show.
do you know I made a short film? No one mentioned that, and
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm actually sick about it.
Yeah. it
Peter
was
and I
really good.
worked
I
really
watched
hard.
it.
I know. You
watched it.
guys
I did
loved
watch
it.
it,
Everybody
too. I really
commented
liked
on
it.
it. It was
you
so
didn't
funny.
talk at all. You didn't say one word.
Because I was Batman. I was
know.
was Batman going to talk to these,
I mean, it
these
was great.
kids? No spoilers,
True.
obviously, please. But I will say one thing.
You looked really good, dude,
Oh,
in the
thanks.
suit.
Well, listen,
will
it's
The
not me.
longest
It's,
closing remarks.
well, we were talking about a new thing now. This is going to be reinserted.
You've said
I don't want to
thank
leave.
you again. Like,
I don't want to leave.
You keep.
That's why I thought we were done, so I stopped paying
Well, we
attention.
didn't talk
and
about.
now-
We didn't talk
we were-
about. Hold on. We didn't talk about me and my movie.
You gave who do I like the most, pretty
Yeah.
much. My closing remarks. Who you can or cannot have on the show. Who
Right.
Jake can or cannot have on the show.
Yeah.
Batman
What's
film
next?
5.
Well, hold on.
6. Are we actually done?
So we're done.
Peter's literally giving us.
We're getting hungry, dude. We got to go get dinner.
Yeah, we're going to
Last
Stack.
thing. What'd you guys think of the movie? It was good.
I never
right?
seen
Yeah,
it.
it was
so I
awesome.
haven't seen it.
No, not the Batman movie. I don't give a shit about.
Dude,
Warner
I
Brothers
thought it was
Yeah, I
awesome.
loved it. It was
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wasn't
Okay.
Peter on that?
Peter directed it.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
I'm excited for what's next.
Do your close.
Yeah.
Wrap us up.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
There you go.